right, we're finally back to film the July Beers and Budgeting episode. It's been a hot minute. It's actually September. We know we're far behind. We've been behind since we've moved, but we are so glad you're still enjoying this series. Stick around, grab a beer, and we'll be right back with our budget. Hey guys, it's Justine, your host of the Debt Free Millennials channel. This is my husband, Kyle.
What's up?
And every single month we're going over our income and expenses, real numbers. We do not hide anything, and this is an episode you don't want to miss. You have to watch it all the way to the end because we bought a house and a lot of house expenses happened in July. Before we get into that though, we always drink a tasty beer.
Well, right now I do.
Right now he does because we've got
a little baby
girl we just announced on the channel.
Yeah. So I'm drinking for 3, I guess 2, however you want to do it. Anyways, it's September, so I feel like when September hits, it's time for Oktoberfest. It's cool outside, so this makes it nice. So we're doing Sam Adams Oktoberfest. It's a good tried and true. If you've never had an Oktoberfest or even curious if dark beer is your game, it's a good one to start with.
It's a very good one. I am actually reheating the half cup. I iced my hot coffee, half cup of coffee, with a Luke's coffee mug. We desperately want it to be fall. I'm trying to wear flannel. It's like 85 degrees outside right now. 78. Okay, not bad, but still. We just want it to be fall. Okay, so cheers.
Yeah.
Get my 200 milligrams of caffeine. Coffee has not sounded good at all until like this week. And I'll be 23 weeks pregnant tomorrow. So crazy times.
Just wild.
Crazy. Let's hop into our budget. We'll show you what went on for July, because if you watched the June episode, then you probably saw that we bought a house. We closed on our house in June. I did a whole video talking about exactly how much those closing costs were, how much we paid, interest rate, all that good stuff. Go dig into my channel and find that video, or better yet, I'll just link it down below for you to kind of snoop around and see the whole home buying experience. But let's talk about July. We had planned on a $12,000 income month. We brought in $12,931.21. It says we have money left over. It doesn't feel like we have money left over 2 months later, a month later.
Not at all. Not at all.
I went ahead and plugged in, this is the simple template. So last month we debuted the super budget template that has a ton of charts and features. I'm going to show you that real quick with June. This is that template. It is available for sale using the link below. So many of you guys have grabbed this. It's been such an awesome, like having the awesome feedback from that. So if you want to get that and this, they come in a 2-pack. Plus some debt-free trackers and savings trackers. Like the worksheets are built into the spreadsheet, so it's not multiple files, it's one file. You can grab that using the link below. So $22.30 is what it's telling us we have left over. It's hard to say that because we have been doing a big kitchen reno that recently got completed. But
Big for us.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in the August episode too. But this was the first month we actually paid our mortgage, but we didn't have to. Do you want to explain that?
No, go for it. Yeah, I think you're the one who paid it. I don't even know how to log in to pay it.
So when you buy a house for the first time, we did not know this. Your mortgage payment actually isn't due until the first 60 days have passed. It gives the bank some time for them to accrue interest on your loan. And so they're banking on you not making a payment in that first month that you're actually living in your house. So we bought our house in June. Our mortgage payment actually wasn't due until August 1st. But we said we're gonna go ahead and make a payment, regular payment in July, like normal, so that we can shave off extra time off of our loan over the long run and save more interest over the long run. There are calculators out there that can help you figure that out, but making an extra payment on your mortgage is going to help save you thousands of dollars on interest and just shaving life off of your loan. So we went ahead and did that. We also are paying homeowners insurance and property taxes separate. So between those two things, that's $761 plus the mortgage, that's $4,167 all in. If you've been following us since we lived in LA, you know this is very, very close to our LA rent. Our LA rent at the end of it all was $43.50.
Yeah.
And so this is very close to that. But you can see cumulative between these three things, we're looking at about 31% of our take home going towards the housing costs.
I like that. That's a good percentage. It could be lower, but it can be a lot higher too.
Yeah. We're paying the homeowners insurance and property taxes separate because we did not put that into escrow. We waived the escrow. Another fun fact, you can do that so long as you meet, I think 20% down would allow you to waive escrow, but check with your lender to see if they approve it. It's literally just writing them up an email. We don't have to pay anything extra. The benefits of waiving escrow is that now we get to take that $761 we would be putting into escrow. We're putting it into a high yield savings account with Ally earning 4.2%. Escrow, there's no interest earned on that. That's just a holding pot where you earn zero.
Well, there's money earned on that. Just the bank earns money on it, not you.
Yeah, true.
So
the bank earns money, you don't. So this is a way, and my father-in-law, your dad, told us about this hack. And I'm so happy he did, because now we're going to be earning some money on interest from keeping it in a high yield savings account. So that's what we're doing. Daycare costs. We actually have a daycare. Actually, I should probably change this to preschool because now she's technically in a preschool setting. $1,040. She was part-time in July, so 3 days a week. We had a $105 registration fee. I had to get like a health assessment notarized from like FedEx. I've never had a daycare preschool ask for notoriety on a document like that, but whatever. That was $15. And then the weekly daycare fee. I don't think we had the babysitter. Well, I feel like we did have the babysitter for July. I'm gonna have to go back in and take a look. That's probably why this is feeling, the $2,200 left over is not feeling accurate. I'm like, I'm pretty sure we paid for a babysitter. We did not pay for any utilities because those come after the fact. So you have to wait the full month, and then your August bill is for your July usage. So we didn't have any utilities. And then everything else, oh my gosh. Okay, groceries was crazy. Whenever you're moving to a new location, I feel like you're just trying to figure out what your grocery store is, and you're restocking a whole bunch of stuff.
yeah.
So I did a big Costco order, $576 on a Costco restock. I feel like there was also weirdly a lot of spending on alcohol, even though I'm not drinking. What did you do?
I bought your dad some bottles.
Yeah, and I think I tried to separate that out. I may not have for July, because just not knowing what was for him and what was for you.
Yeah, I mean, we had 4th of July in there, so, we contributed to that for the 4th of July celebration. There's just things like that.
It was a big grocery expense. $1,200 spent on just restock. There was 3 separate trips to that liquor store, and then Total Wine. So yeah, I feel like a big chunk of it was alcohol. A big chunk of it for sure was that Costco restock. So I'm hoping August and September are much lower. Ideally, this needs to be a lot lower. I talk to my coaching clients all the time about grocery household budgets. I'm like, this is really high. 9.24% of the budget going towards the groceries. And then car expenses. We bought oil because oil was low on our vehicle. Mm-hmm. So we used that as kind of an emergency top off. And then I went to a mechanic and actually paid for a full oil change, tire rotation, like full point inspection, because that was really the first time that we had any kind of mechanical work done to the vehicle since we moved from LA. Mm. And it had been well over 6 months. Then we got the roof replaced as part of our...
Not on the car.
Yeah, not on the car, sorry. House roof replaced. This ties into the car expenses. because there were nails in the driveway, and I ran over one.
Well, I don't think it was from our house. Like the 5 houses next to us, if you look at like the 3 across the street and the 2 next to us, those 5 houses have all had their roofs replaced since we moved into this house. And so these guys throw their crap in the middle of the street and then they don't care. I found 4 nails in our driveway and street after they finished ours, because I actually went through and walked them to make sure they got all the nails. Of course they didn't. So I think you got it from the neighbor. But either way, it popped a tire, which was fun.
And where it hit in the tire was on the outside of the wheel.
The wall.
Of the wall wheel. Wheel wall.
Wall of the wheel. Wheel wall.
Wheel wall.
Wall wheel.
Yeah.
Wheel wall. Wall wheel.
So it was a total replacement. Because I have ran over a nail once before in my old car, and it was right in the middle of the tread, so they could take it out and patch it. But unfortunately, that was $226 from a place called Big O Tires. Do not recommend at all.
Nope, not going back there.
No, it will not be going back there. So $400 in car expenses for the month of July, which really, it was just one thing after the other. I felt like, let's go to fun. We actually did pretty well on restaurants. We had a $400 budget. We spent $460. I was much happier with that than the June budget. Shopping I'm using as a sinking fund. I spent $82 out of the sinking fund, even though I'm setting aside $500. $500 seems like a lot. We knew that we would be using the shopping fund to help furnish the house. Fireworks, the Kenny Chesney and Zach Brown Band concert, including all the beer, food, merch that we ended up buying there. We went to Lenexa Public Market, and I took my mother-in-law to theater in the park here, which was super fun. We saw Sister Act. It was great. So yeah, we managed to squeak in some fun stuff for July. I spent some money on clothing from my clothing budget. Spent some money for Quinn.
Quinn money? What is Quinn money?
Quinn money, I'm kind of using that as like her clothing budget. If I'm getting her, like finding her toys, arts and crafts, kind of her own stuff.
Okay.
I started a baby 2 fund of $100 a month, just kind of setting aside for similar reasons.
Put a crib together today for baby number 2.
You did. How was that?
I don't know, we bought it from someone who went to KU, which is...
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
I see. That's why it was so difficult.
There's a rivalry between Kansas State and Kansas University. Kansas State's the engineering school. KU is the...
Everybody else school?
Yeah. Yeah. The guy... Anyways, I won't get started because it about ruined my day.
Yeah.
But it took me 4 hours to get the crib together because the guy had ruined it so bad. So
that's why it was $60 on Marketplace.
Yeah.
Although I did peek in the nursery and see it put together. I do really like it.
One of us does now.
I think it's really cute. And it was only $60. So Kyle's been finding a lot of good deals on Marketplace. I have to admit. A lot of good deals. $600 went to home improvement and repairs. So many trips to Home Depot. This was the month the basement flooded. 6 days after we had moved in, we got this really weird amount of rainfall.
The neighbor across the street has a rain gauge and said that we got 5 inches of rain in 2 hours. So
when you get that amount of rain in that short amount of time, basements are going to take in some of that water, and we had quite a bit in the back portion of the basement.
Yeah, it didn't cause any damage though, because it was in the unfinished area. Didn't see anything in the finished area, at least visually. Ran a bunch of dehumidifiers and fans for a long time to make sure we didn't see any bubbling or any weird stuff that would indicate water absorption, so that was nice.
And we had to spend, I feel like, the $300 on the dehumidifier.
Yep, still got it running.
And then you spent some money on getting mops, squeegees, that sort of thing. So we ended up getting that. We got a couple of other things for like lawn care, yard care. This is all coming back to me now. I feel like so much time has passed. We also had mice in our house the same month. July was absolutely crazy.
That was fun.
By the way, I was like sick and still like nauseous this entire time. We caught the mice. The first way was awful.
We used a sticky pad, and like it's so inhumane. It's so bad. Like I won't even go into details. Just don't use those to catch mice. It's just not right.
So I talked to my best friend who's an animal lover, and I was like, what do you do? And she's like, they had these catch and release traps at Walmart. Went, found one, and we caught the second one. Kyle was like, we got it. And Quinn was actually like, oh, yay, and a pet.
Yeah, it's so cute.
And it was kind of a cute little guy. And but the thing that was like terrifying and grossing me out was like there's mouse droppings everywhere.
Yeah.
And you could see exactly where it was going in the middle of the night, and it just creeped me out. We ended up driving a little ways down the road to the park, and we released it there. And it didn't even realize that we had the trap door open to release it to freedom for the longest time, until Kyle, I think you were kind of like shaking it out of there.
I wasn't like, get out of here, mouse. And, I took it and was like, get out, come on. Anyways, we did it by the woods, and then it did a U-turn and ran straight for the parking lot. Then, yeah, that was pretty entertaining.
Yeah.
But this is all while we had our kitchen renovation going too. So
Yes.
like we had the countertops off, and like everything was out in a mess, and trying to deal with this mouse. So there was one night that I was like sitting on the couch, and I could all of a sudden, while I'm like scrolling through my phone, I feel this like little triple tug on my shirt, and I'm pretty sure that was the mouse on my shirt behind me. It is like pulling on it. Ugh.
Yeah, and then we saw it scurry.
Yeah.
Cockamouse.
No one's gonna know what that means.
They might know what a cockamouse is. If you know, you know. If you know what a cockamouse is, then comment below. Then you'll be our best friends. Easily. No questions asked. You're just coming over. Also, please do not, I wrote this as a note at the end of the month. Please do not shop at GE Appliances for your water filters or anything like that. I had 2 faulty water filters. Returning is a bitch. Like, it is so terrible. I had to deal with all of that, and it was expensive. And I'm like, why my pregnant brain just didn't even fire that I could order a water filter on Amazon. Also, my pregnant brain did not register that I could just open up the little water filter trap door to see what water filter it was. I was literally trying to look it up online based off of the refrigerator model that we had.
I should have helped you on that one.
What was I thinking? Clearly not thinking. So we decided, yes, we're going to continue to put $500 a month as a sinking fund towards home improvement and repairs. This includes Home Depot, Lowe's strips, equipment, tools, kind of the smaller things. And then the down payment fund has now transformed into home upgrades. This is the bigger stuff. Furniture, renovations, big ticket items. We spent $22,493 on home upgrades, 2 separate payments for a general contractor for the kitchen reno. We also bought us a new mattress from Nebraska Furniture Mart. Highly recommend shopping for mattresses at Nebraska Furniture Mart. They know what they're doing. If you're serious about it, you tell them your budget, and they don't try to upsell you on this, that, or the other.
Didn't feel like it.
No.
I mean, that's sales rep dependent, but if there's a Nebraska Furniture Mart close by to you, I don't think there's a ton of them.
But we ended up getting this Sealy hybrid mattress, which is so nice.
It's a lot better than what we had.
The people are probably going to be like, why did you drop, $3,000 on a new mattress when you're doing the kitchen reno and everything else? Seems kind of like frivolous.
Because we needed a new mattress. I mean,
well, the real reason is we needed a guest bed.
Oh, yeah.
We needed a guest bedroom with a mattress. So we knew, we're like, all right, we're going to either buy a brand new mattress for the guest bedroom, or we're going to buy ourselves a new mattress, and then we'll put our old mattress in the guest bedroom, which is exactly what we did. And then we also we did our first payment installation for our countertops, which you all got to help us pick out. Thank you so much. We were so indecisive on what to do, and putting it out on like Instagram polls and YouTube polls, like, seal the deal, and they look beautiful. So that drained a lot of the home upgrades fund. We still have money in our brokerage account. We have very little in the Ally savings account, but we had kind of talked about, okay, a lot more money is coming out. We do have money stashed in other places, such as Robinhood. And so we talked about pulling money out of Robinhood to put towards things like this. Kyle's Robinhood investing account is like his, I hate to say play money, but it really was kind of an experiment for you.
Yeah.
We wanted to see how much you could make in these individual stocks that you were holding. So we agreed to take out 9,000.
Yeah, I think I transferred 9,000 out of there.
So we did that versus the brokerage account.
It's just easier, I guess. I don't know. We have some moral dilemmas about using Robinhood, so it's just an excuse to get the balance down to zero so we can just stop using Robinhood altogether.
Yeah, well, we say that because we just watched
Dumb Money
on Netflix. Highly recommend. It's all about the GameStop fiasco in 2020, 2021. So
it was great.
Yeah, it's a really good movie. And Robinhood obviously was like a big part of how all that went down. So anyway, we took money out of Robinhood. Almost $1,000 out of vacation fund. So we are going to Colorado for my best friend's wedding. So excited. Estes Park, super stupid expensive to stay at like resorts and hotels there because they don't have chain hotels. It's like their policy in Estes Park to not have Marriott's and Hilton. So you have to do boutique. They charge the hell out of you. We also used points, bulk of our Chase Sapphire travel rewards points, and then about $400 to book 2 flights to Madrid. My sister and her fiance currently live in Madrid. And then I got hit with really bad pelvic dysfunction. So much so, like, it hurt in the backside. If you watch my How Pregnancy is Going video, then I go into more detail about that. I had to cancel the trip because I just knew I wouldn't be able to survive that flight in my condition, let alone tromp around Madrid and actually do a fair amount of walking. Like, walking for that amount of time would just be terrible.
Just historically, when we do these urban hikes, I guess you could call them.
Urban hikes.
We do I think we did like 9 miles one day in New York City and stuff. And like, that's kind of how we do our tourism when we go. And so there's no way you were going to walk more than a mile. It's
frustrating. I was upset about it. Called my sister, like crying. I was just like, I really... international travel is my love language. It's like a core value to me. That's how I like to experience and enjoy life. So to let go of that was really heartbreaking for me, but I know it's the right choice. And we will still have an opportunity to go to Spain next year. So after baby's born, it'll be great. Okay, that's everything. I think I put return shark vac. I bought a cordless shark vac, but I didn't like it, so I returned it. So maybe I added that in there because it's probably in my shopping. I would say I would ask you what we're doing with this extra money, but we still have August to go through. We may have spent it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to say nah.
Nah, okay.
All right.
What works for me?
Okay. Anything else that you can think of that happened in July? It feels like July was the longest month ever.
Yeah.
It just kept going and going. Like 4th of July happened.
Yeah, it feels forever ago.
Fun times. That was our first wild month owning a house. The basement flooded. There were mice, bugs, just getting set up, trying to get furniture. It was a lot, and we were a little bit overwhelmed, a little bit excited. Overall, we survived. That's all I can say.
Yep, we're here.
Okay, stay tuned for August budget, hopefully coming up soon. And if you continue to like this series, make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. Really, really helps out the channel that recently crossed 100,000 subscribers. Yay! And we will catch you in the next one.